going to play a little Psalms 121 sung in Hebrew by Yada Yada 7. Gives people a chance to get notified. Come on in.
Suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold. Preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Amen.
Thank you, TA. Much love to you and yours. Pray everything's going well for you, Sister TA.
Yahweh, Yashimoria, Nakal, Rai, Yashimor, Napasha, Yahweh, Yashimor, Mamalakya, Mawa'aya, Ma'aitha, Wa'aid, Hawalam, Ahmad. Ayanyamya, Al, Haharyam, Ma'aya, Yabawa'a, Izaria, Yabawa'a, Mayahawa, Sha'asham, Shamayam, Wa'arantaza, La'a, Yanthan, Lamawat, Regalia, Yala'a, Nawam, Shasham.
You seen your brother Sly?
Yala'a, Nawam, Wala'a, Yashan, Shashamor, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Shamaria, Yahweh, Tizalia, Al, Yam, Hashemash, Yala'a, Hakaya, Ayawam, Mala'a, Malagana, Malayala, Yahweh, Yashamaria, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Yapasha, Yahweh.
Right, exactly. America closed for 40 days, 40 nights. What do you guys think that meant? About the 40 days, the government shutdown going on for 40 days and 40 nights. I notice I'm talking about that going on for 40 days. We know that significance of 40, 400. It's the same number, just the zeros, the number of 4. 40 days. Noah's Ark, Yahushua in the wilderness. Definitely prophecy. Definitely prophecy. Moses in the wilderness, right, for 40 years. What else do you guys think? I mean, you know, hey, shut down for 40 days. Y'all had your 40 days opportunity to, you know, make some changes. Had your opportunity to hear this truth for these 40 days. Had your opportunity to have the government shut down. Had your opportunity. "40-day test," exactly. 40 years of Moses in 3 cycles, right? 40 years with the Egyptians. 40 years in the wilderness with his wife. 40 years in the wilderness with the Israelites. 40 acres and a mule, right? That whole 40 is a very big thing right there. Now you other nations got your opportunity to experience a 40-day time period. 40-day fast, right? Let's look up the number 4. Spiritual meaning of number 4, because the zeros, you know, it all goes back to the first. There's only 9 numbers. They can put zeros on there, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's the number 4. Spiritual meaning of number 4. We'll go with 40. So a spiritual number, the number 40 most often symbolizes a period of purification, testing, and transformation, or a new beginning. It is frequently linked to lengthy trials, such as the 40 days Jesus fasted in the desert, or the 40 years of the Israelites wandered in the desert, as well as periods of significant change, like the 40 days of rain during the Great Flood. This number signifies a time of preparation that leads to a new state of being, new life, or a new task. That's definitely what we're in. So again, it is frequently linked to lengthy trials, such as the 40 days Jesus fasted in the desert, or the 40 years the Israelites wandered in the desert, as well as periods of significant change, like the 40 days of rain during the Great Flood. This number signifies a time of preparation that leads to a new state of being, new life, or a new task. So you can think of 3i Atlas was going to go by Mars, and they shut everything down a couple of days before they were going to be able to have to show those pictures. They shut everything down for a 40-day period. The ship went behind the sun, has come out on the other side. It's now blue, no tail, can now be considered, you know, whole thing with the Hopi prophecy. I mean, it doesn't even matter what you guys do. You can say you're opening up government, but you're really not opening up anything. So either, like I said, you're damned if you do, or you're damned if you don't. The so-called Democrats were supposed to be fighting to, continue the subsidies of Obamacare, and the Republicans have been wanting to destroy Obamacare, and they didn't care what they would have to do. Doesn't matter. Either way, there's no going forward, because now millions of people are going to lose health care. Millions of people now who had to take that unit a few years ago are going to be in more need of health care, and now they're not going to have it. So again, it's a wrap either way. It's just how the Most High wants to play this out. It's all about how the Most High is going to play this out. There is no future going forward in this society. So are you guys trying to open up the government so they can have a last ditch effort of enjoying their holidays? Because again, in January, supposedly they think they're just going to just do the same thing over again and shut the government down and everything else. So what, you just open it up for a couple of months so you can have another Thanksgiving? You can have another white Jesus, white Christmas? Is that it? Because you don't have our prayers anymore. You don't have our support anymore. While we have all these people here, in a little bit, what we'll do is we'll all pray together. We will all stand up together and say that we do not support you other nations being here anymore. You don't get any more Hebrew handouts. You will not get us to pray for you anymore. We are going to pray together for the downfall of any and every one that has been going against our people. No more kumbaya moments. There will be none of that. All you can do is hope to cleave to the Most High and his people. If you don't want to cleave, not a problem. You might want to just go ahead and exit on up out of here, because we are going to be praying and coming together for your downfall. We are praying for exactly that accelerated decline of the wicked. You guys are making it very easy with your actions to show who you are. I was going to share the video I put on TikTok, but y'all can follow them on TikTok, because I'm going to play a couple of those videos here, and we'll talk about it right now. Because in March of 2024, the government passed a law that pretty much any brown Mexican can now be considered a Native American. See, we've already destroyed your so-called Native Americans. We've already destroyed all of their talking points. They show no receipts. The Most High has raised us up, and now y'all try to call him back up. That's all that this is. You have been trying to call in backup, and you don't care who. You think that numbers matter. You think that, we're going to call all brown Mexicans, Latinos, Guatemalans, anybody is brown from the north to the south of Turtle Island, and say that, okay, before we said you had to be part of a tribe to be Native American. Scrap that. Now we're going to say that you don't have to be brown. You just, you don't have to be part of a tribe. You just got to be brown. If you're brown, then all of a sudden you can be a Native American. That's calling for backup. And I'm going to play the quick video right now. These social media platforms have been your absolute downfall. Have been your downfall. As much entertainment as we get, we've been using it for entertainment, along with the sharing of knowledge and understanding with each other.
Are American Indian. Before this update, if you're a brown Mexican, you are legally an American Indian. According to the U.S. federal government, an American Indian or Alaska Native is an individual with origins in any of the original peoples of North, Central, and South America. Now, in the census papers, you can also put that you're part white, part black, part American Indian, all that stuff. But as of March 28th, 2024, brown Mexicans are American Indian. Before this update in 2024, you needed to be part of a tribe to be an American Indian. That's no longer the case. So this is a win in my mind because people are waking up to understand that they're indigenous, and it's promoting the idea of an American race. Just like there's a black African race, there's a white European race, and there's a yellow and brown Asian race. Like, we're making progress here. Now, I don't like that it's American Indian.
And of course, black African race. You keep on trying that. That stuff's not going to work anymore. You're not telling us who we are anymore. You're not going to do that. It's not a win whatsoever. It's pretty much you putting up the white flag that, hey, us Native Americans, we can't battle these black people no more. We need help. You're pretty much saying, yeah, these black people, we can't do this by ourselves. We need help. So anybody who's a brown Mexican from any place on this planet, you guys are on this, Turtle Island, you are now a Native American, and you need to come in here and fight with us. So the white man doesn't tell us or dictate who we are. They dictate who you are. Y'all made a covenant with these people, so therefore they can tell you, look how quick. All of a sudden, look, I've grown up around Latinos. I know that if they got called an Indian, oh my God, that's like almost as bad as being called a nigger. Because it is the same thing. They definitely, if you call it, they can say all these certain things, but it's like if you call them stupid or whatever else, they get all pissed off. But you can call them every other thing, but if you start insulting their intelligence, all of a sudden, that's a problem. So if you call them an Indian, like I said in my other video on TikTok, I said, look, you guys called us mayates forever. I heard that shit, pinche mayate, forever. So long as I was around them, pinche negro, pinche mayate, whatever. Mayate. You are a Mayan. That's what they were calling, and they were trying to call us synonymous with dumb as it being a Mayan. Right? But in actuality, they already knew that the Mayans and Aztecs were far superior mentally, physically, and spiritually than they are. They already know that. That's why they had to try to beat us down so much. And if anybody here has grown up or is Latino, and you know how it is, how they've been dealing with the Indians. If you've grown up around, if you heard them speak, about how they feel about Native Americans. But all of a sudden, the white man just says now, all of a sudden, 2024, you're Native American. Did you guys tell him? Hell no. We're not Native Americans. We're not dumb. We're not stupid. No. The white man just said, you're Native American. You ain't gonna fight back? That just shows you again that you guys will just do whatever they say. You don't question anything, and that's what you do. Now, a lot of them, it's just mestizos. Yes, some of you guys have black in you. Some of you guys have Asian. Some of you guys have Spaniards. We all understand that. I said, so again, this is all about who the Most High awakens at this time. It's all going to be about who the Most High has chosen to awaken at this time. If he hasn't chosen you on this time, then I don't know what to tell you. Start cleaving if you can. Right, Miss Abby? 80s and 90s, exactly. But you let them tell you all of a sudden now that, okay, well, we know we haven't given you any of the benefits of being Native American. I know we haven't given you money from the casinos. We haven't, we're giving you other benefits. So you guys just say whatever, go with whatever we say. We've already given you other people in the middle benefits, so we can say whatever we want to about you, and you can't say anything because we've already been giving you benefits. We let you come here. We gave you EBT. We gave you Section 8. We gave you free education. We gave you free college. So you guys have already been paid. So they can switch up whenever they want with you. Yeah, we haven't given you these benefits of the Native Americans, but we've given you other benefits. So now all of a sudden, you're Native American. You see? In this woman's video here, let me find it.
People were in the middle. They had better treatment than black people, and the white people were out. People forget that this
about this here, okay? How they put the white people at the top, all the people who are mixed in the middle, and the black people at the bottom. This is their whole caste system. Now, it's very important that you take a look at this because look, there were no white people here before 1492. They were not in any position to be at the top. So take the white people out. And now you look at the mixed people and the black people. Who do you think was in the position to be at the top before the white people got here? Who do you think was running things before the white people got here? Remember, no white people, just the people, the brown people and the black people. Oh, I don't know. Who do you guys think maybe was at the top? Who do you think would have been at the top of that caste system at that time? See, this picture right here is from a book from 1670s. And it's showing you right here who's at the top. Who's running things? Right here. So you saw how quickly they switched your designation or your ethnicity in 2024. All of a sudden, you went from being Mexican to being a Native American. They switched you just like that. So again, this right here is a picture from the book from Ogilvy from 1670s. This is what they depicted the top natives as. So all of a sudden, later on, when the white people got here, all of a sudden now they're at the top. So where did these people go? Well, they didn't go to the middle because you got mixed people there. Where did this black Indian go? Oh, he must have went all the way down to the bottom because of course they're going to want to put the people who were at top to the bottom because you go from being the head to the body. Is that what the Bible says? If you go from being the head, do you become the body? Do you become the middle? Hell no. If someone has come over here and they've taken over the top spot, you go from the head to the tail. So that's exactly what you see going on right here. We went from being the head to being the tail at the bottom. And they said, oh, we brought all these black people from West Africa. That's a lie. They were already here. So right here is exactly what you figured. I didn't even put this in the other video because most I was giving me more clarification. That they were the tail because they weren't even here. They were at the bottom. The Bible says that they were the basest of people, the basest of men. So they went from being the base, the bottom, up to the top. Can you show me anywhere about this caste system where the white people over here in America were at the top? Now, this is later on when they got here. Just like I talked about in Baruch 4, the Most High is going to bring a base people here. They were not going to understand their language here. He's not going to care about men, women, children, young, old. So that's right there. So let me play a little bit more of her video.
Spanish colonial system was literally codified in paintings. This is how they depicted race. There were 16 or more races in colonial Spain or Mexico in the American Southwest. At the top were white people, and all the white people had different names depending on their mixture. In the middle are indigenous people, which is right here in the middle. And then down here are black people or West African people that they brought during slavery. So this shows you that these are the three different groups that created the colonial system of Mexico. So the people who are denying that black people were part of the cowboy culture, vaquero culture, literally right here, they are part of the culture. In the middle, indigenous people were in the middle. They had better treatment than black people, and the white people were at the top. Spanish inherited the system from the Moors, and in 1491, that's when they defeated the Moors, and in 1492 is when they came to, but this is their system. This is how they codified their system to say, oh, if you're mixed with this and this and that, this is what you are.
So if this system was from the Moors, why wouldn't the Moors be on top? If that was supposedly the system that the Moors had, how come the black Moors weren't on top? Did the black Moors put themselves at the bottom? No, again, this was the opportunity for when the basest of men got power, they flipped everything and put themselves as the heads, and everybody, black people, Moors, Israelites, at the bottom. But see, it's like I said, you guys have all been paid for and being paid for by giving all these benefits. So therefore now they can switch whatever your designation is, and you have nothing to say. You've got nothing to say. So if you want to say you're Mexican one day, you got nothing to say. If the next day they want to say you're Native American, you got nothing to say. Hold on. So when you go to Baruch chapter 4, take a look at Baruch 4, verse 6 first. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath. Ye were delivered unto the enemies. They weren't selling you so-called brown people. They were selling so-called black people. Remember now, all of a sudden, y'all want to say y'all been sold for the slavery. Now, y'all always love to be talking about how we were sold into slavery. This is why we have to tell our own story. We were the ones that were sold into slavery. We were the ones that were considered 3/5 of a man. So again, Baruch 4 and 6, ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath. Ye were delivered unto the enemies. The enemies came here, and we were taken from here to other places. So hold on. Verse 15, Baruch 4 and 15. For he hath brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language, who neither reverenced old man nor pitied child. That did not happen to you so-called Native Americans. That happened to so-called black people. This is why you guys keep trying to say we were over in Africa and everything happened in Africa. Because the Most High brought a shameless nation over here to us. This shameless nation were you Spaniards first. Okay? So that's verse 15 again. For he hath brought a nation upon them from far. You were brought over the ocean. A shameless nation, that would be you. And of strange language. Okay, you brought your languages over here. We didn't speak Spanish. Who neither reverenced old man nor pitied child. These have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, taking us into slavery, and left her that was alone, desolate, without daughters. You moved us all up and down Turtle Island. You moved us to the islands, right? The West Indies. You moved a bunch of us over there. So again, for he brought these plagues upon you. Okay, for he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. So again, we're going to be delivered. We are being delivered. We already are being delivered. The delivery was, again, knowledge and understanding from the Holy Spirit. Given knowledge and understanding, so we will not be found ignorant in these times. We will not be found ignorant at this time. That is the delivery. That is the deliverance that has come. The other nations are ignorant, so therefore they have to pray that for a white Jesus to save them from the sins of their fathers. That is what you guys are. You said today, you guys keep saying that you haven't committed any sins. So if you haven't committed any sins, then what are you worried about? Because you are trying to get white Jesus to deliver you from the sins of your forefathers. That's why you go to church, so that you don't have to pay for the sins of your forefathers. All the while you've been enjoying the blessings that they have given you. And that's why I say, no one gets saved. Everyone has to pay. We have been paying for the sins of our forefathers, and now you will be paying for the sins of your forefathers. Doesn't matter if you say we don't have to pay, no one here is responsible, while you're enjoying all these benefits. You see, most definitely a foolish nation trying to teach from our books and have no understanding whatsoever. So let me play a little bit more.
And so the goal was, it was like a game or something. The goal was, how do you get to whiteness? And this is how you did it. The colonial system of Mexico or Nueva España, was very different from the British one. And so people that are denying certain things about Black Mexicans, well, the evidence is in the paintings, literally. Really important to understand these really, really nuanced things about the Spanish system that are very different from the British one. Don't forget that the Spanish...
So again, you guys became the head. You weren't the head when you guys were given knowledge and understanding. So therefore, when you guys got here, well, knowledge how to get here, but you were given power. You were given the sword, and then you got to be the head. So if you're the head in these pictures, that means then at the tail were the Black people, and there's all the people in the middle. Very simple. And now the Most High has taken away your power, taken away your sword, taken away your blessing. So now you are not the head anymore. You are now the tail. That means that the people that were the tail are now the head. Very simple. Very simple. So you got people who are in the middle who have been paid and given, they've been given their little dainty time and everything else, so they can say stupid stuff like this.
Like, people are over that. You guys are fucking monkeys. I'm sorry. You guys are fucking silverback apes.
Hey, fuck, if you know me since...
Hold on.
We just had another... Like, people are over that. You guys are fucking monkeys. I'm sorry. You guys are fucking silverback apes.
Hey, fuck, if you know me since I made this account, I do not do this low vibrational shit or this debating shit on my account. But folks...
So again, who are you? You can say I'm a silverback ape. I don't give a shit. Who are you? I'll wear that, no problem. I'm glad you figured it out. We are nothing to be fucked with or played with. You right. We are like the silverbacks. You right. And there's nothing you can do to stop what we are doing now. There's nothing you can do to stop this awakening. So you can say whatever you want to say. I don't care. That's still not going to stop your judgment. Not going to stop me whatsoever. We are the children of the Most High. So you keep on running your mouth and see what the Most High is going to do to you. Exactly, Miss Everyone. 3 Ayatollah shows that they're going to be begging for help. Monkeys. But that's okay, because then you can go to the Black church and then you can be told to pray for your enemies. They can keep on talking about you and you don't, say anything back. We just got to be the bigger person, stuff like that. Check out this video here.
Like, people...
ain't the Lord's house. Because what? A room full of feminine black men and overweight black women. Listen, Christianity has done a number on our people. White supremacy, this is the type of stuff they love right here. This is why I side-eye anybody who goes to church on Sunday, because what are you in there learning? With all the famine, with all the wars and rumors of wars and, earthquakes, signs and wonders, this is what you're doing. Your pastor is not preparing you for salvation. He's preparing you to go to hell, straight there. This is dangerous.
That's it. What are you learning? You've been going to these churches. They're not teaching you who you are. They tell you, they let people talk however they want, and then, you got to forgive. You got to forgive. We got to work together. No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't need to work together. We cool. We good. Because all these people are going to sit there and talk about how we are demonic, we got it wrong, and they're going to be going to their churches and doing stuff like that. While the people who have set up these churches are laughing their asses off. Oh, we got another one. We got another one at the church. We got another one who doesn't know anything. We got another one who doesn't read or study for themselves. We got another one that just listens to whatever we tell them to do and not think for themselves. Right? We cool.
You were not punished because you were hated. You were punished because you were chosen. The covenant was written with your fathers. The covenant was made with Abraham, confirmed through Isaac, established in Jacob, Israel. But Israel did not listen. So the curses of Deuteronomy 28 unfolded exactly as spoken by my prophet Moses. You lost your land, you lost your name, you lost your tongue, your culture, your heritage. You were scattered to the four corners of the earth. You served your enemies. You were shipped into nations not your own. Your sons and daughters taken. Your identity buried under the kingdoms of your captors. Not because you were abandoned, but because prophecy had to be fulfilled. You were not punished because you were hated. You were punished because you were chosen. The covenant was written with your fathers. The covenant was made with Abraham, confirmed through Isaac, established in Jacob, Israel. But Israel did not listen. So the curses of Deuteronomy 28 unfolded exactly as spoken by my prophet Moses. You lost your land. You lost your name. You lost your tongue, your culture, your heritage. You were scattered to the four corners of the earth. You served your enemies. You were shipped into nations not your own. Your sons and daughters taken. Your identity buried under the kingdoms of your captors. Not because you were abandoned, but because prophecy had to be fulfilled. You were not punished because you were hated. You were...
So calling me a silverback gorilla is supposed to hurt me? When we show you, I'm sure that when you look at all these videos and you can't prove anything wrong, it's killing you. Calling me bywords and names, that's part of prophecy, bruh. That doesn't hurt me whatsoever. Calling me a silverback ape, that's supposed to be something bad? Calling me a yoked up ape who 100 of your people couldn't even touch, and that's a bad thing? You better count up with something else. Because that doesn't bother me one point. I say thank you. You got anything else? You see what I'm saying? Like you got nothing that is gonna upset me whatsoever. And it's crazy how they got all these people like this trying to tell our story.
Now that the great noticing is starting to happen, what you're going to see, and it doesn't take a genius to predict this, is a narcissistic rage fit from the ones who have been orchestrating in the background for centuries, thousands of years, probably millions. There have been multiple videos going around saying that there's a huge narcissistic outrage, hissy fit, temper tantrum that is going on planet Earth right now. And spiritually, we can all feel this because things are just getting too exposed too quickly. And if you study narcissism, and by the way, I think true narcissistic personality disorder is kind of like a fallen angelic trait. Like, they all operate through textbook behavior. Like, it's a little creepy. Like, how can you say that that's not engineered? But anyway, if you study narcissism, when they get found out, they scream the loudest. They don't care that you found out anymore. They're tired of hiding it because now they're throwing a narcissistic hissy fit. Any of you guys?
So now we got Asians. We got Asian people now talking about the truth and acting like they're bringing out something right now. Exactly. The ape actually has a very high place in our society. That's why they used to actually mummify the apes over there in in Egypt, because that was something that we did over here. So again, you're not calling us anything. It just shows you how stupid you are. Exactly. She's not saying absolutely anything. So they got, it's funny how a lot of you Asians won't say a damn thing about this awakening. Won't talk at all about the truth. But all of a sudden now you're trying to teach? Right? I don't believe, if you haven't been standing with us, don't be trying it now. Because that's our job. That's what we do. That's what we've been called to do. You're just mimicking what we say, isn't that you're bringing anything new, because you're not. And it's all, oh my, hold on, I got to show you guys this one. A couple of, well, hold on, let me show you this one sister, a young sister actually came up with this one. I'm gonna share this part right here, because they put the truth in all these movies. When you realize you're just not going there to get entertained, in all these shows, they tell you the truth. So hold on.
Now watch this. Brotherhood of the Wolf, okay? Watch this.
Fair use.
I hope for your sake, Captain, that the beast is among these wolves.
In any case, these won't attack anyone again.
What a curious character. Where did you find him? In New France.
Fair use.
He's what is it? An Acadian. He's an Indian. An Iroquois from the Mohawk tribe.
An Indian? A real one? Doesn't look at all like an Indian. Please join us tonight at Saint-Alban. It will be a...
You heard that? He said, oh, he's an Acadian. And he said, this man here, no, he's an Indian, an Iroquois from the Mohawk tribe. And he said, a real one? He doesn't look at all like an Indian. Now it's very clear that there were two different types of men here in the Americas. Very clear. Now there were the Arawaks, the Caribs, the Sabayo, the Inca, the Mississippian, the...
You get that right there? Again, they're letting you know. It's all over the place. Let me play it again from the beginning. Fair use. From the show here. Fair use.
Now watch this. Brotherhood of the Wolf, okay? Watch this.
I hope for your sake, Captain, that the beast is among these wolves.
In any case, these won't attack anyone again.
What a curious character. Where did you find him? In New France. He's what is it? An Acadian. He's an Indian. An Iroquois from the Mohawk tribe.
An Indian? A real one? Doesn't look at all like an Indian. Please join us tonight at Saint-Alban. It will be a...
I get me getting pissed off at the white people for telling on you guys. As that's just the Most High. He's the went ahead and made sure that you guys had to put the truth out there so that we could find it later on. Is he a real one? Because again, they would just put lies out there, and yes, people at that time knew the truth, but they know that generations down that people would not know, and they would believe all the BS from before.
The reason they stopped calling us in.
Okay, I'm gonna play this brother's video right now. If you guys ever watched Beavis and Butthead, a dumbass cartoon, I think it was out when I was like in high school. They even in Beavis and Butthead, that dumbass cartoon, they were telling you the truth. Fair use. Check out this part. I was like, damn. Even in these dumbass cartoons, they were telling us the truth.
It's the same reason they stopped calling us the N-word.
Fair use.
Like it.
Fair use.
Right? It was a derogatory term. It was stripping us of who we were, stripping us of our tribe, our nation, right? Whether we were the Mayas, the Olmecs, the Carib, the Arawak, the Lacuya, the Yamasee, etc. So let me show you guys some proof really quick. Welcome to the cookout.
America? You know, I think you're not supposed to say Indian either. Oh, wait, really? Yeah. I think you're supposed to call them African Americans. Wait!
Were you guys able to catch that, or do y'all need me to run it back?
Run it
y'all
back.
Need seconds? A second plate? Okay, all right. Let me run it back.
Run it back.
You know, I think you're not supposed to say Indian either. Oh, wait, really? Yeah. I think you're supposed to call them African Americans. Wait!
Yo.
I was just like, damn. They put that right there. Fair use. Fair use. I know many of us here that around that time period, we are familiar with that cartoon. Fair use. Look at that. Right? You know it's over with when Beavis and Butthead are witness to the truth, right? Bear witness to the truth. Right? You remember that MTV, right? Well, I know a lot of us saw that. They were putting it everywhere so that when we awaken now, in 2025, we can go back and see all of these facts. Beavis and Butthead. Telling the truth. We're not supposed to call them Indians anymore. We got to call them African Americans. And now, African American, that whole terminology is dead. We are not accepting that anymore. Hold on again. I mean, we can really just go over these videos that that are popping up everywhere.
We the return of the Christ. Christ is not a man, it's a symbol of a mother, queen mother. Wake up.
AI, like I said,
Queen mother,
for them, it was, they use AI to try to combat us because they already know that their people are base and they vomit up their wisdom and they cannot come against what we are going to be. What we have become, not what we're going to be, what we've already become. We are the juggernauts of the world. They cannot come against anything that we say. They cannot get receipts, right? They can't do any of that. So therefore, they got to create something like AI to try to come against us. And what you all understand is this. When you talk to AI, they assume that you are one of the ones that have vomited up their wisdom. So what will happen is you'll start going back and forth with AI, and they will just give you the standard answers that their pastors and priests have been giving, or their historians, college level professors. They'll do that. Once you start to bring out other information, that's when AI starts to agree with you. When I started talking about the Inquisition and the things that the Inquisitors were doing to us, then all of a sudden AI switched, its whole thinking. They keep talking about, oh, well, scholars say, scholars this. I said, well, hold on. I said, how can you trust what a scholar says when they have been pretty much condoning raping, robbing, and murdering and changing history? Well, yeah, I understand your point. I mean, I can see, how would you understand, or how could you believe a people that has done it? It's a real big contradiction. When you start talking about the Pacific slave trade and people being brought from the Philippines over here, that's when all of a sudden AI starts to switch its thought process. Because see, but the vast, only 1% of the people or less are going to actually know these things. So if you don't know it, you don't bring it up, AI won't do that. AI is not bringing any of this up. That is how you destroy all of their breakdowns, because they know they don't, when you bring it up, oh yeah, okay, you brought that, okay, then there's such a issue, because they know they're not going to just bring this information out. They wait for you to bring it out, and then they're like, okay, we got a 1%er here. My lies aren't going to work with him. My lies are not going to work with her. That's when AI switches. Right, Miss Effie? AI glitches when you ask about Pacific. Exactly. You'll start seeing it like thinking a lot, or it'll start to like, go to, it's showing like how many sources. It goes to all hundreds of sources, right? Or it just goes back to, well, pretty much the white man says, but we get past all that. Yeah, we can trip. We're the ones that can trip up AI, but AI won't trip up, you other guys, because you guys don't know anything. You don't read, you don't study. We start talking about the Catholic Church starting chattel slavery. You start getting into specific time periods. Yeah, and it admits it. Right? It needs a few minutes. You got, you got that thing when you can make AI have to sit here and really think about stuff. You're doing something. I'll show you guys this video. This is another awesome video. But see, we be using AI for stuff like this.
King Bob, wake up. You sleeping on this teaching? It's you I gotta shake up. Wake them up. We the return
Fair
of
use.
Christ. Christ is not a man. It's a symbol of a community brought back to life. They got you looking for a red or white or blue savior. But here comes the black savior, Krishna, that blazer. Tongue sharp like that razor. Original rap flavor. I speak in general terms because I'm that major. Still got the pager privately. Don't lie to me. God is the Motorola mobilizing inside of me. My sheep know my voice and stay choicing and plotting me. When knowledge reigns supreme, ignorance you not gonna see. Unite with me, and I'll unite with you. Don't fight with me, and I won't fight with you. Establish law.
Fair use. Very powerful. You see what I'm saying? Like, you start talking about who we are as a people, you start bringing out facts, start bringing out information, and there's nothing they can do about it except call you a silverback. All right, bro, you want to call me a lion too? Right? Oh, you're a monkey. Oh, well, that's a tough one, man. That's tough. Took you that long to kind of come up with that?
Oh, I can hear the preachers now. Yeah, they said in the last days that people would turn against the church, and no. See, I'm gonna tell you what's happening. See, the Catholic Church had their time, because they got exposed for all them touching little boys, and now the mega churches are getting exposed for having accumulated so much wealth and not doing anything for the community. And we know y'all gonna blame it on the end days. But no, we know what's happening. We tired of y'all. We don't owe y'all 10%. We owe 10% to the Lord to give. And
that's it. They all of a sudden now I'm hearing Mitchell talking about Islam, and you guys try to find somebody to go against you, because you ain't going against us. You ain't gonna bring up IUIC. There's more of us out here than just IUIC. Much more out here. But that's what y'all, you want to handpick who you're going to fight. You want to handpick people that you want to go against. And for us, we'll go against everybody. It don't matter. And Mitchell is definitely cooked. All these people are cooked. Give me a quick second here. I've been seeing this brother here from IUIC. He was talking about this video's been popping up about what they used to do to our people. Now look, y'all think that y'all were able to do all these things, horrible, heinous things to our people, and that you're never gonna have to pay? I mean, I don't understand how you guys seem to think that you're never gonna have to pay for any of this.
But this is crazy. He said that to stop us from communicating, they would burn this and put it here and here to punch a hole in our mouth. Then they would take this here and put it over our lips so we couldn't speak to each other. And our forefathers had so much wisdom and so much desire to be freed from slavery, they started coming up with beats and rhythm to communicate with each other. This is why the Bible tells you, Job 8:8, search for your fathers. We supposed to be searching for what our fathers been through. Look at this lock. She got a lock on her lip to stop them from speaking.
Now, if the Bible tells you to search for your fathers, why would you listen to the white man and only read 66 books? If you're told to search for your fathers, why are you only reading 80 books? Why are you reading only the books that the white man has approved? You see the contradiction there. Why would you only be reading those books and only listening to their breakdowns of prophecy? That makes no sense. Why don't you explain, you brothers from the camps here, 2nd Ezra chapter 14, where it talks about there's going to be other books at the end. I'm searching for my fathers in places where the other nations have hidden information. Now look, just like when they hide stuff now, they don't make it very difficult to figure out. It's like right beneath the surface. I haven't seen videos of IUIC reading from different books. I don't know for many different books. Maybe I'm out of the loop, but I haven't heard them reading from Old Testament pseudepigrapha. Haven't heard them reading from the Nag Hammadi. Haven't heard them teaching. I heard someone said that they were reading from the Book of Mormon. Someone sent me an email, said that they heard them reading from the Book of Mormon. But how long have they been reading from the Book of Mormon? If they did. And exactly, they're still teaching Jacob's trouble coming on the earth again for everybody, then that's still white man's doctrine. Hold on. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So again, he said you're supposed to search for your your forefathers, for your ancestors. Then why don't you search in other books? Our ancestors wrote other books. Where's the book of Enoch? Is he not one of our ancestors? Shouldn't we be reading the book of Enoch? And I don't want to hear bullshit like, oh, well, that's not the real book of Enoch. How do you know? The book of Enoch goes way more in depth than just what the Bible says. Book of Jubilees, book of Jasher. The white man has a reason for you not to read that because he doesn't want you to know about your greatness. He doesn't want you to see your greatness. So again, that's a very big contradiction for what he just said about searching for your fathers.
To communicate with each other. This is why the Bible tells you, Job 8:8, search for your fathers. We supposed to be searching for what our fathers been through. Look at this lock. She got a lock on her lip to stop them speaking. A lock on the lip so they couldn't talk. And you mean to tell me God gonna save them people? The people that did that, they dead now. They've left legacy for their ancestors, their children. They now rule the world from the resources that they gained from the enslavement of our ancestors. They still living off of it today. And you mean to tell me that God is going to save those people that did that to us, those people that died, that didn't get no punishment, that they're not going to be resurrected and punished? You ain't reading the Bible.
So again, How about the 12 patriarchs? Are we not supposed to be searching for the 12 patriarchs? Are we only supposed to read, how many patriarchs have we read about? Why aren't they reading what the 12 patriarchs and what their father told is going to happen to each tribe? What about when Jacob was telling each son what was going to befall them in the last days? Why aren't we reading that if you want to know about what your forefathers were doing and what they were saying and what they were teaching? What about the other books of Paul? The Apocalypse of Paul? Paul and Thecla? How come if you're supposed to be teaching or searching for what your forefathers say and do and what's befallen them, how come we're not talking about those books? No. I'm just going to read the 80 or the 66 that the white man who did these horrible things to our forefathers, and you're going to trust that they gave you all the books? They put holes in the mouths of our ancestors and made it put locks on their lips. Did not want us to communicate. But you're going to believe that he would give you all the books and all the information in the 66 or 80 books. Does that make any sense whatsoever to anyone here? I can't even say you read the Apocrypha, because the Apocrypha tells you, if you go to 2nd Esdras chapter 14, that there are going to be other books. And not one of these people that's in these camps have ever brought out this information, have never proven it wrong or explained it or anything. I have not seen anyone from these camps touch that. 2nd Esdras 14, 45. Actually 44. In 40 days, they wrote 204 books. And it came to pass, when the 40 days were filled, again, 40 again, and it came to pass, when the 40 days were filled, that the highest spake, saying, the first that thou hast written, publish openly. Right there is your Bible. Okay? Okay, that the first that thou hast written, publish openly, that the worthy and unworthy may read it. But keep the 70 last, that thou mayest deliver them only to such as be wise among the people. Again, but keep the 70 last, that thou mayest deliver them only to such as be wise among the people. Only the wise are going to get these other books. For in them is the spring of understanding, the fountain of wisdom, and the stream of knowledge. So again, you got your other 40 days right there. So that 40 days is very important, even in the books that the world has seen, as well as in the books that they have not seen. But hey, I'm a monkey. Yeah, I'm a monkey though. Okay. I'm a silverback gorilla, right? Yeah, okay. The Most High just right now just went ahead and confirmed again this whole 40 days and the significance of 40 days, and that's a significant time just finished. How close do you think now you got your 40 days right before 3i Atlas is about to come on the scene? Curious like George, right? Right? Guerrilla warfare warriors, exactly. I'll wear that as a badge of honor, my boy. They are simply fulfilling prophecy. Very true. Right? When these records were all originally written, there was no Bible, only scrolls and tablets. Exactly. Exactly. King Kong. Exactly. So again, we got another 40 right there. 40 days of writing things down. You know, it is very significant. This number 40, these 40 days and what they mean. So again, spiritually, the number 40 most often symbolizes a period of purification, testing, and transformation, or a new beginning. We are at the new beginning of you other nations being the tail and us being the head. It is frequently linked to lengthy trials, such as the 40 days Jesus fasted in the desert, or the 40 years the Israelites wandered in the desert, as well as periods of significant change, like the 40 days of rain during the Great Flood. This number signifies a time of preparation that leads to a new state of being, new life, or a new task. Could that new task be being moved and changed from being fishers to what? Hunters. Hold on. Okay. So again, a new beginning, a switch. That's huge. A new life or a new task. New task. No more fishing. Hunting. No more fishing. Hunting. Three-Eye Atlas came from the hunters. The area in the sky signified the hunters. Definitely a great switch at hand. Maybe that's why the Most High had me talk about last night, about not giving you guys permission anymore. We don't condone you. We don't support you being here on our lands anymore. A significant time, a significant, sign of moving from being fishers to hunters. Three-Eye Atlas, being behind the sun, being behind the portal. Have a perihelion day, switching us from being fishers to hunters. You guys, other nations, have got your purification moment. You had your opportunity to hear all this truth. 40 days of a shutdown. 40 days for you to see how screwed up this system is. How quickly they can switch everything and shut everything down. And all you did was what? Pray for the system to come back online. All you've been praying for is for the system to come back online. Let me get those EBTs. Let me get those food stamps. Let me get that Section 8. Let me just get enough just so I can get to Christmas. Let me just get enough so I can get to Thanksgiving. Let me just get the FAA working so I can fly here to see my family maybe one last time for Thanksgiving. So again, purification and a new start. It can signify a time of cleansing and moving on from the old state. Moving on from the old state. Moving on from the opportunity of you guys to, fishing. We're cool. We got it. You don't want this. You don't want this truth. Okay? The 40 days of rain during the Great Flood washed the world clean, leading to a new beginning. And Noah's family was saved in the ark for 40 days. Transition and preparation. A period of 40 can represent a transition to a new phase of life or a new stage of spiritual development. The 40 years of the Israelites spent wandering in the desert was a time of purification before they entered the promised land. Could that be our time of purification before entering into the promised land? Completeness. In some contexts, 40 signifies a complete cycle, such as the 40 years of a generation or the 40 days Moses spent on the mountain receiving the commandments. So again, In some contexts, 40 signifies a complete cycle, such as the 40 years of generations of the 40 days. All right, definitely a complete cycle of fishing. I mean, it's all right there. So again, but like I said, but this brother right here was talking about searching for our ancestors, searching for our forefathers. Our forefathers, like you talk about how smart they were, how intelligent, how much wisdom they had. Do you think all the wisdom that our forefathers had is in 66 books? You think that their wisdom, the nations who wouldn't even let us talk, would let us get our hands on our wisdom? I mean, does that make any sense whatsoever? Does not make any sense at all. That you would somehow let the people who did this to our ancestors dictate what you read and what you study and how you break things down. Hold on. Give me a second. So Proverbs 25:2. It is the glory of the Most High to conceal a matter, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. So if you're going to say that we must search out our forefathers, must search out our ancestors, the Most High said he's not going to make it just super easy. He said, but only the kings are going to search a matter out. So again, it is the glory of the Most High to conceal a matter. The Most High was the one who conceals a matter. The Most High is the one that hid our information. These Gentiles, they're not smart enough to hide anything. They just do what they're told. Okay? Let me just get it out of here. It is the glory of the Most High to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. So when you say things like, hey, we're supposed to be searching out our forefathers, searching out our ancestors, if you seem to think that all that information is pretty much just in the Bible, you're lying to yourself. And hey, look, they know the Bible great. They know the Bible in depth. I understand that. And that's awesome. And they do a great job with that. I'm not saying that they don't. There's more to us than just what's in the Bible. There is way more to us than what's in the Bible. All right, family? So I'm going to have to stop it at that. But since we have almost 1,000 people here, let's all collectively let these other nations know you are not welcome here. You have had your opportunity to rule and reign, and you have had your opportunity to hear this truth, and you've had your opportunity to embrace this truth, and you've chosen not to. You are only allowed to cleave. You are not allowed to teach us. You are not welcome here if you are not cleaving to the Most High and his people. If you, just like it says in Isaiah 14, if you're not here to cleave, you're going to need to leave. You're going to leave either on your own, or the Most High is going to show you the way out if you're not cleaving to him or his people. We do not want you here anymore. You have had your 400 plus years, and it is now time to leave or cleave. That is your choice. and us as a collective here, are all crying out to our Father, our Mother, our angels, and our ancestors to remove you if you do not want to follow our power and cleave to his people. We have now that 40 days, you can see, switched everything. We're not here to fish you guys anymore. We are now moving into the hunting season. And that is now what 3i Atlas is about to do. And if you don't believe it, don't worry. The Most High is going to show and prove. Because we have put it out there. We are putting it out there. Okay? We're putting it out here. We are pretty much telling you how this is. We are being told from our spiritual beings, telling us, because we already know we've already won in the spiritual realm. Now, we are telling you now, we're making a proclamation now. Your time is over. Hunting season is here. Your choice on how this is going to go down for you. But the time of fishing is over. It is now time of hunting. And the Most High is going to hunt everyone that has had their hands on his people. You can't teach us anything. All you can do is regurgitate what we have already been given by the Holy Spirit. And we proclaim our lands. We proclaim the promise that the Most High made with our forefather Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are their children. We are the children of the Most High. And we proclaim our blessing again. We proclaim being the head again. Your time is over. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.